Alrighty, welcome back into another episode of Getting Technical, brought to you by Better and Green. I am Ethan. As always, with me today is Wyatt, and we're back again talking about the Maui Invitational. Yesterday, we talked about the Purdue versus Tennessee game, where Purdue was able to win and barely cover, won by 4 points, and then Kansas versus Marquette. I know we were both on Kansas last night. They just got blown out. Marquette was the right side the entire way through. I think Kansas only led after the first basket of the game, and then Marquette pulled away from there. So tonight we do have the consolation matchup between Tennessee and Kansas. That goes at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then at 5 p.m. Eastern, we do have the Maui Invitational Championship between Marquette and Purdue. So those are the games we'll be talking about. And then Wyatt, I know you want to mention Memphis and Michigan, as that is a decent game as well in the Battle for Atlantis. Is that what that's
Yeah.
the term it's called? Yeah, as always, happy to have you here. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I was dead right on my totals yesterday. I took the over in Purdue. That one hit. That game was kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys watched it. I think Purdue had like 47 free throw attempts in that game, and were like 50% from the field. Anyways, it was an ugly game. The refs were calling everything. That's good for my over. Then I did have the under in Kansas and Marquette. Unfortunately, I did not bet it, but I gave it out. So I went 2-0 on those totals. I was on the show. I was on Tennessee minus the 3.5, and unfortunately they lost by 4. That is what it is. And then, yeah, as you said, I was on Kansas. But yeah, I mean, we got 2 solid games again. And then, yeah, I just want to quickly talk about Michigan, Memphis, because again, I follow Ken Pom pretty religiously, and according to his rankings, like this is the 3rd best game between 2 top 30 teams in regards to his ranking. So it's a pretty decent game. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Hopefully we can do a little bit better. Actually, you know what? We did fine yesterday. I went 2-2, and you went 1-2, 1-1. So
1-1. The player props not do so hot.
Edie did.
He did. He hit his points. He got hooked on the points and rebounds. Oh no, and assists were in there. I didn't see if he had an assist.
I know he got the points. So. I was on the on the points, so I know he got that.
Yeah, I know he had 10 boards. If he had 1 assist, he got there. Dickinson, I mean, Kansas sucked yesterday, but yeah, first game we'll talk about here is the consolation game, Tennessee versus Kansas. I'm seeing Kansas as a 1.5 point favorite, total sitting around 139. I'll throw this one to you first.
Yeah, so that to be honest, didn't watch a whole lot of that Kansas Marquette game. I went to bed a little early last night. We have big bar night tonight. We have Thanksgiving tomorrow. So I tried to catch up on a little bit of sleep. So I didn't watch that game a whole lot. But I did look at the stats afterwards, and Kansas actually shot better from the field and from the 3-point line than Marquette did, and they still lost by like 17 points. So that was kind of a weird stat. I'm not quite sure what happened in that game to have that stat, but that was kind of surprising. And then, Tennessee battled with Purdue better than I thought they were going to. But I'm gonna have to go back to Kansas. I think Kansas is, again, the better team. I think they're a little embarrassed about what happened last night. So I think Kansas can win it pretty easily. 1.5 points seems like if Kansas and Tennessee would have won, I think this would have been close to 7-8 points in favor of Kansas. So I'm going to go Kansas over under 140. I mean, Tennessee is kind of a dead nuts under team as we speak. Kansas is usually a pretty high scoring team. I would lean the over. I think it's going to be kind of a similar game to that Tennessee Purdue game. I think it's going to be pretty physical. I could see a couple fouls. So I would lean the over, but I do think Kansas bounces back and wins this game relatively easily.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like you, I watched the first probably 12 to 15 minutes of that Kansas game last night. Let my emotions get the best of me and just slam the computer shut. It was like, this sucks. Yeah, like you said, Kansas wasn't shooting bad, but it was so sloppy. Turning the ball over, they had no control. Just really bad passes. They were never slowing things down. A lot of bad turnovers, and couldn't get a rebound. They let Marquette get just a ton of offensive boards. It was just an extremely frustrating game when you had money on Kansas. So shut it off, didn't pay attention to the second half. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I do agree. I'm going to lean Kansas here. I think they bounce back. I think they kind of thought they could just maybe go in and beat Marquette. Um, Maybe looking ahead to Purdue a little bit. I think Purdue and Kansas are probably ultimately the top 2 teams in the country right now. Um, this game, it all comes down to motivation, I think, which is tough to quantify. It is the consolation game, so no one's lifting a trophy if they even do trophies at these tournaments. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I just think Kansas being the number 1 team in the country, they're probably too prideful to come out and lose back-to-back nights. So I just think the 1.5. I mean, I'll play the money line, but I think they'll be able to come out and get this win. Tennessee though is also a really good team. I think I'm probably going to load up on a future here shortly on Tennessee to win the entire thing, or at least make the Final Four. I think they're a really good team. They're great defensively. They have some nice shooters. Um, but yeah, I just don't see Kansas losing back-to-back nights here. So hopefully they come out a little bit more motivated. Hopefully they slow down some of that sloppy play I saw yesterday. But I do like Kansas. I'm going to lean the under, actually, just with Tennessee's defense. And with what I saw from Kansas yesterday, it's tough to think they're going to turn around and score a ton of points tonight, but won't be playing the total. I'll lean Kansas on the money line or minus the points. Second game we'll talk about is that championship game, Purdue Marquette. And I can take this one quick. We're looking at Purdue minus 3.5 over under 142. Probably look for the over in this one. A lot of scores on both sides here. Again, though, I'm not a huge totals player in college basketball. I look more for sides until it's tournament time at least. But I'm going to look for Purdue to keep rolling. Minus 3.5. I think they're the best team in the country. Zach Edey still, he's not like that good. Like he really isn't. He's just huge,
Yeah.
and refs don't know how to ref him. He gets a ton of fouls called on him when guys are just kind of going up for rebounds. He somehow doesn't get fouls called against him. He did yesterday, but typically he's only got like 1 or 2 fouls throughout the game. So he's just a tough guy to really beat. And like I said yesterday, they just have a lot of wings, a lot of guys who weren't great last year who are better this year with Fletcher Lawyer and Caleb First. One other guy in there. I can't think of his name, but yeah, I just think Purdue's overall probably the best team. I think 3.5 is short. Marquette's probably a little bit overconfident coming into this one after being the number 1 team in the nation. So yeah, I just think Purdue minus 3.5. They probably win this one by double digits.
Yeah, I will be playing the over. Love the over in this game. Purdue, one of the highest scoring teams in the country. Defensively great. You're going to see that quite a bit with Big Ten schools. Pretty decent offenses, great defenses, unless you're Michigan. But Purdue definitely can score. And then we just saw Marquette, and the Big East in total just score a bunch of points. They play a very fast paced offense. So I really like the over. I don't think Purdue's defense can quite slow down Marquette. And then I was really thinking this one. I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to take Marquette plus 3.5. Tennessee was great. I think Tennessee is probably a little bit better than Marquette, and Tennessee battled in there the whole game. It was a really weird game. Just the game they really didn't ever get going with the fouls and everything. Even the announcers like, I can't remember the last time we had a full possession without a foul. There were so many fouls in that game. So it was kind of hard to judge how each team was going. I think Marquette's going to get on a roll in this game. I think they're they can push the ball. They're going to have a very fast pace of play. So I think Marquette might win it outright, but I'll take them at plus 3.5 to be safe. But again, I really like this over. I think both teams are easily going to score 70 plus points, and the over is just sitting at I think it's 142 right now. So really like that over, but I will have a small little play on Marquette on the spread on this one.
Yeah, this it's these teams' third day in a row playing basketball. So I do think defense tends to lack at that point. It's going to be a lot of tired bodies out there. So I think that's even more of a case for the over in this one. I will say, though, I just checked. Marquette is getting 82% of the money. So,
oh, God
yeah.
damn it. I'll still take them, but that's just not what I wanted to hear.
No, that's not good. Yeah, I like Purdue. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, these tournaments are tough. These players are not. I mean, nobody is meant to play 3 hardcore basketball games in back-to-back days. So I think that's what kind of happened to Kansas last night a little bit too. I mean, Dickinson looked just tired as could be. But yeah, we'll see how these games go. Again, let us know in the comments if you're riding with Purdue with me or if you're riding with Wyatt and Marquette, which 82% of you are. So we'll see how that shakes out. Um, Next game we'll talk about, which I don't have much to say on this game.
Yep.
Michigan, Memphis. Obviously, your Michigan boys took a tough loss last time out, but I mean, let's just be real. Michigan didn't come into the season with any expectations. Lost Hunter Dickinson, lost Kobe Buffkin, um, lost Jet Howard. A lot of their studs from last season. We're kind of playing loose. Had some impressive wins early, and we talked about when Michigan State lost to JMU. I mean, you're going to lose games early to out of conference players. As a Power Five team, you're not always getting up for these lower level games. So I don't put a ton of stock into that loss. I still think Michigan is kind of a fun team with no expectations, as I know you agree with. Um, I personally enjoy watching Michigan basketball. I've had great success betting Michigan basketball in the past. So I would probably look to Michigan to win in this game, but haven't dug into this game very much. Haven't dug too deeply into Michigan this season. But yeah, I'll throw it over to you for your opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to be a big homer, but yeah, Ken Palm again. I follow him pretty religiously, and he always has Michigan ranked up there in the rankings, even though Michigan obviously isn't ranked this year. But they were projected 11th in the Big Ten, so even though they are 3-1, no one's really thinking they're any good. But Ken Palm has them at 37th in the country, and he has Memphis at 32 in the country. So he has this as a pretty big matchup. So I thought it was a little worthwhile to talk, and I think the line's a little fishy. Memphis, I think they're still going through some violations. I don't know if that's still in effect, but I know they took a little bit of toll from NCAA violations. And then Michigan's coming off an embarrassing loss to Long Beach State, like you just said. So the line is only Memphis -1. I was kind of thinking Memphis was going to be a little more of a favorite in this game, just because everyone knows Memphis. Memphis is kind of a basketball school, and again, even though Michigan is 3-1, they really haven't beat anyone, and they lost to a Long Beach State. Is that even a team that anyone knows? Probably not. So I was kind of thinking Memphis was going to be a 4 to 5 point favorite in this game. So it was a little weird there. Maybe Kempom is right with his Michigan analysis there. But yeah, I'm going to go Michigan at the +1, +1.5, wherever you can find it. And I also love the over. It's at 153.5. As I briefly alluded to, Michigan plays absolutely no defense. They don't believe in it, and it pisses me off as a fan. But they're just terrible. Transition defense terrible. They're just terrible on defense. But they are scoring 91 points a game. Memphis, on the other hand, scoring 85 points a game. So two high scoring offenses. Michigan's not going to stop Memphis, and no one's really stopped Michigan this year. Granted, they haven't really played anyone, but so I love the over 153. I think both teams can get in the 80s, possibly Michigan scoring in the 90s. But yeah, I'll take Michigan as well in the +1. Not as confident about that, but I might put 2 units on this over.
Yeah, I definitely don't hate that. I mean, I know Doug McDaniel is having himself a good year already. I would look for maybe player prop for him to go over his points total. But yeah, should be a fun game. I know Memphis has Javon Quinterly as well. Got him in the transfer portal, so should be a fun offensive game. But yeah, why do you have anything else before we close it out here?
I don't. This is probably going to be our last episode of the week. I would guess with Thanksgiving and everything. But yeah, with college football winding down, I believe we will only have what, like 10 college football games next week, and then we get into bowl season. So with college football winding down, look for a more consistent schedule with our getting technical videos. We're trying to get at least 2 out a week for you guys, but hopefully we can maybe push that to 3 with football winding down. So yeah, to stay tuned, and we'll try to get a couple more games, a little bit more analysis. But yeah, I'm excited for college football back in the swing of things, or sorry, college basketball back in the swing of things. And yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, I might try to get a solo video out tomorrow or maybe a blog. We'll see. I mean, it's Thanksgiving Day, so it's gonna be tough. But I do have my boys in green playing at 4 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day against Arizona, number 21 versus number
Ooh.
3. So nice big matchup. I'm gonna roll from the Lions right into the Michigan State, so it's gonna be a beautiful day of sports for me. So I might have something coming out. Might just tweet something. I don't know yet. It's gonna be busy. But just keep your eyes peeled for something coming out for that. Otherwise, check out bettergreen.com, guys. We have a lot of articles coming out. We're starting to do some premium plays. We're not going to be giving away all our plays for free. It's simply we just we work very hard at handicapping all these sports that we bet on. And it's only going to cost you $1 a month. That's it. So follow along with us for just $1 a month. You're going to make way more than that following our plays. But we're still going to be giving out free plays on Twitter. We're still going to be writing blogs for free on our website. So just check us out over there. Check us out on all of our other socials. We do have a college football video coming out tomorrow, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, as well as we just had our professional football NFL show come out. So check us out, guys. Continue to subscribe, like, comment. We really appreciate all the love, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you guys.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spots from the bottom to the top, hey. Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome, welcome to our podcast, Better in Green.